Mother Teresa could not beat these charges. These charges are rigged. The whole thing is rigged. The whole country's a mess between the borders and fake elections, and you have a trial like this where the judge is so conflicted he can't breathe. He's got to do his job. And it's not for me, that I can tell you. It's a disgrace. And I mean that. Mother Teresa could not beat those charges, but we'll see. We'll see how we do.
Well, Mother Teresa didn't have golden toilets, but she also wasn't prosecuted by the deep state and facing 700 plus years in jail. Welcome back. Beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Luke Rudowski here of wearechange.org. And we're going to do something a little bit different today as we got the boys in town, and we're going to be discussing the news as it develops, specifically around Donald Trump and his prosecution that's happening right now as the closing arguments have just ended and the jury is now officially deliberating the fate of the former president of the United States. If these videos do well, we're going to do more of them, but there's a lot to discuss, so let's just get right into it. As of course, Donald Trump had a lot to say about Mother Teresa, about being unfairly charged, about facing a lot of very stiff penalties and charges that, let's just be honest here, are absolutely politically loaded. Where do you guys see this case going? As a lot of people are saying, it's only going to go up for Donald Trump regardless if he is found innocent or guilty of these charges related to not filing your expenses and detailing them correctly.
You mean like when you say it's only going to go up, you mean like his support?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think if he gets punished and he is found guilty, only going to get massive support. If he's going to be found innocent, there's only going to be massive support from here, as a lot of people are going to say, yeah, we told you so. Obviously, these were trumped up charges, as Tim Pool even took to social media just a few minutes ago and said, I hope Donald Trump gets arrested. Unique take, like always, from Tim Pool, but he does make a point, as of course, everything now is politically charged. It is politically loaded. And I think Donald Trump, in my opinion, is in a win-win kind of outcome here, as his fervent supporters are saying, put him in jail. Let's see what happens then.
Yeah, well, I think it's all upside unless he goes to jail for a long time. If they convict him of something, if they convict him on all charges or something crazy like that, I could see how that could potentially be a net negative. But I think that broadly speaking, you're correct that his supporters already think these charges are trumped up. So if he's exonerated, they go, we told you. A bunch of normies go, oh, wow, maybe this was all BS. And then they come off the sidelines and they say, yeah, I'm going to vote for Trump because like clearly they don't want him in there. Clearly he was accused of things he didn't do. Therefore, he's worthy of support. Just a quick anecdote, because on my drive over here, I was talking to my dad, actually my stepdad, and he told me that if Trump gets convicted, he's going to lose the election. And I told him, I think you have that exactly opposite. But the fact that a more normie, non-following the news cycle 24/7 type of person like we do, felt that way, I thought was interesting. He felt that more people would not vote for him because they are the types that still trust in the justice system. And if he gets convicted, then that's evidence that he's in fact a criminal and shouldn't be the president of the United States. Now, I don't agree with him, but I just wanted to throw that out there because there are some people that feel that way.
I think he's wrong, because I think a lot of establishment types thought that when the kind of picture of him being arraigned comes out, when that's picture true. Of him being in jail comes out, that's going to be something that a lot of boomers and a lot of older people are going to look at, and they're going to see that this isn't presidential worthy, that he shouldn't be president since he's a criminal. And kind of the opposite of that happened. He made T-shirts out of it. We made T-shirts out of it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And a lot of people used it as a kind of rallying call, where we finally saw something that unified all political sides, as they were both sharing these photos. But I think Donald Trump actually came out on top of that larger kind of PR move that, in my opinion, backfired by the establishment. As we also have some other breaking news, as Nick Sorter took to social media and said just in in. Judge McCann has told the jury they do not need unanimity to convict. This means 4 jurors could agree on the first crime, falsifying records, 4 on the second, tax violation, 4 on the third, Fed election violations, and McCann would still count that as a unanimous guilty verdict from 12-member juries. What the hell is this BS? The fix is in. And those are the comments made by Donald Trump, as his faith right now is in the hands of 12 Manhattan residents, not even New York City residents. The judge made sure that Orthodox Jewish people couldn't participate in this trial as well by setting particular dates that they couldn't be in court. And it's fair to say, Manhattan, overwhelmingly very woke, very left, very democratic, favorable individuals who now hopefully won't be politicking and hopefully will be making the right decision here. But again, some people are saying everything's going to go crazy here. I don't think so. I think the fix might be in, but even if it is, I think it's only all upside for the former president of the United States here.
Your assumption is that he will be released on appeal?
I think there's a number of outcomes that could happen here, and I think we should go through them. One is that he's found not guilty. There's a juror that says this is ridiculous. All the star witnesses are liars who have committed greater crimes than the president of the United States. All it takes is one jury member to do that. A lot of people, a lot of legal experts are saying that's probably what's going to happen here.
Can I pause you there? Because that's what we just read says that's not the case, because the judge allegedly...
But you still need all the jurors to say guilty on at least one of the charges.
Oh, okay.
So if one of the jury members says, no, he's not guilty of any of these charges, he gets to, of course, walk. It's a hung jury. So they need a unanimous decision that at least all the jurors, all of them, say that he's guilty of at least one particular thing. So I think that's the more likely kind of scenario here. Another scenario is that they find him guilty on all these kind of mixed different charges, and then the judge will be deciding his fate. Now, the judge, I think the most likely scenario here could be house arrest, could be that he needs to do community service, because, again, these are kind of misdemeanor charges. But I think on the rare case, the rare chance that this judge takes matters into his own hands and decides to punish Donald Trump because of his political viewpoints, as of course this whole process is punishing him because of his political viewpoints. But I think the judge could extensively take the situation into his hands and say, jail right now. The Secret Service prepped for this. They planned for this. You guys are ready. Send him to Rikers Island right now. Hold him there without bond. And that would be an extremely rare situation, in my opinion, that would happen here. What do you guys think could happen here?
I mean, I'll just tell you this much. If they throw Donald Trump in Rikers, I'm voting for him. And you guys know I'm not a big Trump supporter by any stretch of the imagination. But if they throw Donald Trump in Rikers over these unbelievably fraudulent charges, I will have no choice but to support him.
Yeah, these are like white collar charges. And the thing, what I'm still grappling with is, okay, what Merchan said, the judge said about finding him guilty unanimously by not having unanimous verdicts. So like if 4 guys say, yeah, you're guilty of A, but 8 people say you're not, and then 4 guys say you're guilty of B, but 8 people say you're not, and then 4 other guys say you're guilty of C, but 8 guys say you're not, that's not unanimity in any way. That means that he couldn't get a guilty verdict on any of the charges.
Has anybody ever heard of this? That you, okay, 4 of you think he did this, the other 4 think he did that, the other 4 think he did this, and it's like, that's good enough for me, go to prison. That's not how it's supposed to work. You have to have a jury of your peers with unanimous conviction. That I've never heard of this. This seems so, I mean, we already knew it was weaponized and politicized, but this is unbelievable.
It is shocking. I don't know what's going. I don't understand it. What were you going to say, Luke?
Yeah, Newsweek has a very interesting article that kind of goes along with the theory that I was just talking about here, as they have an article that's titled "Donald Trump Acquittal Now Unlikely." Former prosecutor came out and gave details about what he believes is going to be happening here, as he's going out there and saying that an outright acquittal is unlikely, but a hung jury is very possible given the political nature of the case, and even convictions on misdemeanors would be a victory for the former president. Yes, I think, again, all upside, as we are now going to be waiting for the jury to decide the fate of the former president of the United States and lead frontrunner for this upcoming political election. Now, Donald Trump's comments about him comparing himself to kind of Mother Teresa here is pretty golden and very Trump-esque.
I love the audacity.
Yeah. I mean, it's perfect. It's very, very Trump, and he definitely knows.
They did this to Jesus,
Yes.
Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King,
Gandhi.
now Donald Trump.
Yes, but looking at all the other kind of unfair prosecutions that have happened, this is kind of not directly like that, but in line. So it's like
I am the orange Mahatma Gandhi.
Mahatma Gandhi was already brown, but that's beyond the point there. But he does say the whole country is a mess. The judge is conflicted, that this is an utter disgrace. A lot of other legal experts absolutely agree with him. CNN legal experts are coming out and saying, yeah, the prosecution didn't make a good case here. Yeah, what's happening here is backfiring in the Democratic establishment, as I have my own theories to why that is personally happening here. But I think this has clearly highlighted a major moment in American politics.
Oh, yeah.
That luckily is backfiring. Luckily hasn't worked like the establishment wants it to work, because they want Donald Trump to look like a criminal. They want him to look like a bad guy. They want him to look evil. And there's going to be a small portion of fluoride guzzlers that are watching the corporate media that are going to say, yeah, he is guilty. He is a bad man. I can't. There is going to be an elderly bunch of horse stream media watchers,
yes,
who are going to say, yeah, so this, I think, is going to have a very small effect on it. But when it comes to the kind of loyal Donald Trump supporters, I think he's going to have a lot more of them than he ever had before. And I think they're going to rally behind him more than ever, and even push the needle with individuals like you, Clint, who are saying, hey, if he goes to jail, I'm going to vote for him. If he's found guilty, he's going to vote for him, as he's making a very strong case to libertarians at the Libertarian National Convention just a few days ago, as the Libertarians picked a very kind of weird, woke individual to represent them, as now it's fair to say that 3% that Donald Trump was talking about probably will be going to him.
Yep. I was on with Roger Stone about hour and a half ago, and we were talking about the Libertarian ticket and Chase Oliver and Termott, the I don't even want to talk about it. Anyways, they're terrible. It's a terrible ticket, and that was Roger's question for me.
I literally took the sign that we sell on wearechange.shop that says bad words that we can't mention here on this broadcast, and I said, maybe if we get rid of "in this house we say" to the Libertarian Party, and I just released that video. Of course, that perfectly represents them right now. But sorry, Clint, go ahead. What did you discuss? Because Roger Stone, love him or hate him, he has his pulse to what's really going on. He's an incredibly smart individual that's been inside of Washington, D.C. in more ways than one, and he's incredibly on it, incredibly smart individual. What did you kind of get from your conversation with him?
Well, it kind of sounds self-aggrandizing, but the fact that my analysis was so in alignment with Roger's made me feel good, because I was like, oh, if this dude thinks that, then I'm probably on the right track. I think there's this real unbelievable irony, because the Mises Caucus, which had taken over the Libertarian Party, would have put up a ticket, including myself, I am obviously biased in this, that would have stolen millions of votes from Donald Trump. Like, we would have been a real problem for him. And now, because our oppositional wing of the Libertarian Party beat us by the slimmest of margins while coalitioning and being very shady. I explained it all on Liberty Lockdown last night. It's a very interesting story. But because of that, they were opposing us because they think that we are fans of Trump. They think that we are too right-wing, and which is not true. But because of their opposition to us and because of the ticket that they put forward, millions of libertarians all over the country are going to vote for Donald Trump. That's what's going to happen. So I think it's just stunning irony that the people who hate Donald Trump the most within the Libertarian Party are now responsible for probably handing him the election.
Yeah. I think so.
I think my audio is that. Oh, there you
sorry, go ahead.
It's an interesting phenomenon how that which you fear becomes your reality.
So true.
Like what you put energy into, whether it's the thing you are afraid of, that's what's you're going to get more of. And so they're afraid that these people are going to empower Trump, and then they end up empowering Trump.
Exactly.
Wild.
And that's what Roger saw. That's what he thought. And I think he's right. I think we're all right that's what's going to happen, is that you're going to see, because there's just no, like, once you have critical theory that is running as the top slot for the Libertarian Party, like that is collectivist, basically grievance politics that is totally anathema to the vast majority of libertarians all over the planet, and certainly in America. We're not going to support that. There's just not a chance. Like, it was funny because people were screaming at me, "Oh, dude, you ran for VP. You have to support the Libertarian Party ticket." And I'm like, did you listen to Ron Paul's speech on Sunday? Like, Ron Paul's speech was, "We have to fight the woke." He said that. He said those words. And I'm like, Ron Paul ain't voting for Chase Oliver. There's no chance.
And the Libertarian Party elected the woke to represent them.
Exactly.
I actually spoke to a major libertarian kind of player. I don't want to mention this person's name without their permission, but right before Donald Trump went on stage, I was like, hey, he's going to free Ross. And then this person responded, "Holy frickin' cow, I'm going to have to campaign and fundraise for frickin' Donald Trump. I can't believe I have to do this." And I'm like, yep, makes sense.
She posted about it yesterday, so you can say the name if you want to.
Well, it's Martha Bueno.
Yeah.
But
I saw her post that, and I was stunned. So now that you said it, I was like, oh, that's who you were talking to.
When I was watching that,
I didn't see her post. I didn't know if I could publish her.
Yeah, she did say it publicly.
I was watching that speech that he gave, and when he said that, I was like, I think I might vote for this guy. I think Ross has served his time. I think it's like 11 years for like running that website.
crazy.
Ross, Bitcoin, no wars. I mean, how else could have you made a bigger plea to the Libertarian Party? And I think he made a better plea than their own nominee.
I got a question. Do you guys think that the Libertarian Party made a mistake by having Trump speak?
No,
I don't think so.
Not at all.
I think more discourse, more conversation is always welcome. And I think the Libertarian Party had more attention on it than it ever had in its entire existence.
Yes.
This particular weekend, those conversations, those demands that Donald Trump kind of acquiesced to, it's a huge step moving forward towards achieving larger goals that the Libertarians would have never ever dreamed possible if it wasn't for them reaching out to Joe Biden, to RFK, to Donald Trump, having two of the three main presidential campaigns come to your convention and to plead for your support. That's big right there. And that's something that is game-changing and something that a lot of people are taking the opportunity to do.
For any libertarian to think that it was a bad thing in hindsight, I just don't know what they're looking at. It was, in what other world would we have had 500 people sitting live while myself and Dave Smith and Vivek Ramaswamy debate the future of this country? Like, hello, that's crazy awesome. And then you have Donald Trump speaking to 1,200 people the next night. And we're intermingling hardcore MAGA folks with our camp, and we're actually like having the battle of ideas. Like, it was all so healthy.
Yeah.
Yes, there was some contentiousness and people thrown out for protesting and things like that, but overall I thought it was just a fantastic event.
Huge victory, and it also sets the stage for a potential 2028 Dave Smith, Clint Russell, Scott Horton, Luke Rudowski, Tim Pool, Vivek Ramaswamy camp.
Let's go.
That could be having a part.
Oh, and for the record, Rogan would be in that.
Yeah.
Rogan is ride or die for Dave Smith. So
that's Tuck. Let's get AJ in there.
Tucker,
hey,
I know. Candace Owens, she loves Dave Smith. We got Tucker Carlson is now homies with Dave Smith. We got Joe Rogan homies with Dave Smith.
Michael Malice.
So, Tom, yeah, dude, it's big time.
Imagine that administration. And if you can, share this video with your friends and family members. Any other closing comments, guys?
I think the more people that listen to Dave Smith, the more people that like him. That's all I want to say about
so
it.
true.
Big
so
D.
true. I mean, that I covered this already, but or on my show I did. His speech he followed me to the Trump supporters and the Libertarian Party, and he gave this 8-minute speech that was just so genius. Like, he was trying to build bridges between the two camps. He was trying to say, hey, how about you listen to us? Like, there's not so much difference between us. You guys don't trust the media. You don't trust the military-industrial complex. You don't trust the judicial system anymore because of what they're doing to Trump. You want to see these wars end. You want to see the troops come home. You want small government. You want fiscal responsibility. We're not so different. Like, yes, we have our significant differences on certain topics, particularly with the neoconservative wing of your party. But to the America First MAGA wing of this party, not so different. And it was really beautiful to watch, and it was absolutely genius. The guy is He's the future.
It was a great speech. The other guy before him, though, we'll get into that. Plus a lot more. Again,
He's not talking about me. He's talking about the other guy.
Yeah, the other guy who took something. But again, this is a new format that we're kind of testing out. If you like this new format, rather than the kind of daily videos that I do, share it. If these videos do well, we'll do more of them. I kind of like these kind of Hodge twins, Abba Preach kind of like videos, and I think we might be onto something, and I think they might be a little bit better than maybe the videos that I do. You will be the judge of that. If this video does well, we'll do more of them. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys supporting us. One more video coming your way on LukeUnfiltered.com. Follow Clint at Liberty Lockdown. Follow Ian at Ian Crossland. Stay tuned for a lot more, all here on YouTube.com/We Are Change. I love you guys.
Peace.